In this video, I want to discuss how you hedge with options. Now, hedging with options entails picking a contract that will offset the downside risk, but still allows for upside gains. And the two basic types of options we have here are the call option, which gives the holder the right but not the obligation to buy at a specified price, which is known as the strike or exercise price. And this is a contract that you'll pay a price, which we refer to as a premium for, that allows you this privilege of being able to buy but not being required to buy. A put option gives the holder the right but not the obligation to sell at the exercise or strike price. So let's see what we have here. This is the payoff profile for buying a call option. Now, suppose you buy an option that has an exercise price of E and a premium here of this distance. So let's just say this is $2 and say the exercise price is 50. As long as the price is below $50, you're not going to use this because this gives you the right to buy. Why would you want to buy something at 50 if it were selling for 45 in the open marketplace? Now, of course, if the price goes up, you benefit by being able to buy at 50. So if the price goes up to 60, you can still buy it at 50. A good example of a call option that I saw once in a textbook is the idea of a rain check in a store. You go to a store, they have a stereo on sale for $50 or for $500, and you decide, well, I'd like that, but they don't have it in stock. They give you a rain check. They say it'll be here on Tuesday. Come back. You can buy it for $500. Normally sells for $1,000. So you go, okay, I'll take the rain check. And on your way home, you're driving along and you stop by another electronics store and you find that same stereo and it's selling for $400. Well, what do? You throw away the option to buy at $500 and you buy it for $400 from that other store. Of course, suppose you go into that other store and it's selling for $950. You go, well, this option to be able to buy at $500 is pretty good. I'll hang on to it. I'll go back on Tuesday and buy it. So if the price rises above the exercise price, you make money. Now, I have more detailed videos on options and payoff strategies, but I just want to give you the basics of the payoff here. So as the price goes up, the value of the option goes up. The other option we'll talk about is the put option. Same concept. You pay a premium, you pay a price for the right to be able to sell at the exercise price E. If the price is above E, okay, say that's $50 again. If it's $60, why would you sell it for $50 when you can just go into the open marketplace and sell it at $60? Of course, if the price falls, you can benefit by being able to sell at $50 even if the price is only $25. So this is what this payoff picture looks like. Now, in order to hedge, let's take a look at the at a risk profile. Now, this is a graph showing the relationship between changes in price versus changes in the value of the position. And risk profiles can have different slopes. The steeper the slope, the greater the exposure, and generally the greater the need to manage the risk. So, for example, here's an example of an oil seller. As price goes up, the oil seller benefits because they get a higher price for the oil that they have. If price goes down, they lose value because they're selling at a lower price. For someone who is an oil purchaser, for example, a gasoline refiner, if price goes up, that's bad. That costs them money and it reduces value for them because the input to producing gasoline is oil and that input's price went up. Of course, if price goes down, that's good, value increases. So let's put these two things together here. For example, someone who's an oil seller. The oil seller likes the fact that when the price goes up, they make money. They don't like the fact that when the price goes down, they lose money. So they buy a put option. the put option makes money when price goes down, and all you lose is the premium when price goes up. So when you combine these two positions, when price goes down, the loss here is at least partially offset by gains in the put option position, and so it flattens out. Okay, flattens out to this premium that you paid. But if price goes up, what happens? Well, all you lost was the premium here, so you still have some upside potential. And this position is sometimes referred to as a synthetic call option. It looks like that call position we created when we were looking at call options. So here you have limited downside losses, limited to the premium, okay, but you still have upside potential. On the other side of the story is the oil buyer. The buyer of oil loses money when price goes up, but makes money when price goes down. So they can use a position in a call option which makes money when price goes up, and they will create essentially a synthetic put option here. So they'll make money if price goes down, but they won't lose, they'll only lose the premium when price goes up. So again, combining these positions allows us to reduce risk, but still allows us some upside potential. So the advantages of hedging with options is it reduces downside risk, but still allows upside potential. The disadvantage of hedging with options is there's a cost, there's a premium. You have to pay in order to essentially have this insurance. In fact, sometimes we use option pricing theory to value insurance premiums for companies. And you have to keep in mind that options expire. So once the option expires, in order to maintain that hedged position, the hedger needs to purchase another option. So this is much like having insurance. You know, you have an auto insurance policy. When your auto insurance expires, you have to renew the policy, otherwise you don't have any protection. But this is kind of a neat way to hedge. In a previous video, I showed you hedging with futures or forward contracts. Those tend to eliminate the downside risk, but they also eliminate the upside potential. Here, using options, you still have the upside potential while reducing the downside risk.